Collingwood are down to their final 3 players without a contract going into next year. And we're going to dive into the list status of it all and what sort of changes we need to make, knowing that we need to make 3 list changes post-trade period or replacements for us to be eligible to move into the next season with the list that we have going forward. So we have Ned Long, Charlie Dean and McInnes all without contracts for the next year. We currently have 39 players on our list at the moment, with 33 being on the senior list. We need to have at least 36 going into 2025 for us to be eligible for the season. So how does that work? Well, like I said, we need to make 3 list changes / replacements, and that can come from delisted free agency, postseason draft, preseason supplementary period, and a rookie draft. So you can get pretty creative while also having some loopholes. For example, with Reef McInnes, if you really wanted to, which we won't need to, in my opinion, or let's say even a better example would be a Charlie Dean or a Ned Long who are rookie listed, you could effectively delist them and then re-rookie them in the rookie draft. That's considered a list replacement change. So you don't need to do that, but what we can do in our case is we can add Tomlinson and Membry through delisted free agency onto the senior list. So that takes us to 35, meaning we only need 1 more player on the senior list for us to be at that threshold, while also ticking the box with 2 list changes / replacements being Tomlinson and Membry. So we need 1 more for the senior list and 1 more list change, okay? What does that mean? Well, we can take a punt with our first pick in the draft, which is at 52 at the moment. And given Collingwood and Derek Hine have had some success in this sort of realm before, you can just look at when we recruited mature-aged Bo McCreary, who was late in the draft in 2020. Harvey Harrison was late. Joe Richards was late. Josh Dacos at father-son was pick 57 in his time. So we've had some success in those later picks. So I definitely see a world where we just pick up a player from the draft, and that will take us to the 36 minimum threshold for the senior list, and also completes and ticks the box for the 3 list changes / replacements. On top of that, we could probably rookie list Quaynor, Luke Quaynor, that is. I don't think he's good enough to get on the senior list and at least gets an opportunity on the rookie list. And the beauty about the rookie list is these players who aren't quite ready at 18, 19 get a bit more time to work with themselves and get an opportunity at AFL level. And with the rookie rules, if you play less than 10 games in your first 3 years on the rookie list, you get an additional 4th year. And if by the end of the 4th year you've still played less than 10 games, you get that 5th year, which is actually a new rule coming into next year. So at the moment it's 3 years, but next year you get that 4th and 5th year option. So that's really good to see for players who just aren't quite ready early on in their AFL / VFL career. So that's a good one. And ultimately that means we won't need a delist Reef McInnes, we won't need a delist Charlie Dean, we won't need a delist Ned Long. So we can keep them all on the list. Where are they now? So we've got Reef McInnes on the primary list and Ned Long and Charlie Dean on the rookie list. Let me just confirm. Charlie Dean, yeah. So they're both rookie A's, Will Parker being our rookie B at the moment. So we can keep them as is. And I mean, like, you could, like I said, rookie list McInnes, and which would open up a space that we'd need to fulfill in the senior list and use another pick in the draft. But I don't know if that actually happens. Jack Hayes doesn't seem likely at the moment. It seems like we're going to opt for Tim Membry. It's kind of one or the other. And like I said in my earlier video this week, if we're delisting an injury-prone Kruger, why would you bring in someone who is in that exact same space in Jack Hayes, injury-prone at St Kilda? Talking about McInnes, Dean and Long specifically, Charlie Dean had it difficult, came into a team that was struggling collectively and looked vulnerable in transition. I remember that game against Sam Darcy for the Bulldogs, who turned out to be one of the best key forwards in the league. So it's hard to knock him for that. I think we find out more about Charlie Dean in 2025 and whether he belongs at AFL level. He seems very comfortable at VFL when I watch him, so I just hope he can transition that into AFL standard. Reef McInnes, who's spoken to many, many times before, averaged a goal and a half per game at 50% time on ground. So he was extremely efficient when he was given an opportunity to play or be the sub. Ned Long is quite similar in a sense. He was, how many games did he play? He played 7 games and had 56% time on ground, but averaged 5 tackles a game. So he's a working class man personified effectively. So these players all have potential to crack in at AFL level. It's just a matter of if they, I guess, get a bit of luck, get a bit of a run in the team. Ned Long found some consistency. How many games did Ned Long play in a row towards the back end? So he played, let's see here, he played 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, did not play the game against Melbourne. So found some consistency there, which was really good. And I think Brisbane, he was quiet. He had 5 touches. So there's a bit of work there to be done, which is understandable given his first year at the club. My left field question is there space for Ned Long at 6'4", built like a tank, to become a key position defender? Nathan Murphy was 6'3", 6'4", a lot more slender. I understand Ned Long's a bit slower, so that's probably the thing that hinders him becoming a genuine key position, I guess, option. But that's something that's food for thought. I mean, we've got to be creative. If we've got Tomlinson, Frampton, Dean, who are really struggling to lock down this position that we're so desperate to fulfill, we have to consider that. And then we've got Reef McInnes, who really did not see much footy at all in the back end of the year. His final game was against Hawthorn, so he didn't play AFL footy after round 19. And then lastly, we have Charlie Dean, and it's similar to Dean. He played opening round 1, played from round 11 to round 14, then played round 17, got subbed out for the Essendon game, which was an interesting decision, and then played the final game against Melbourne, but the game was a training simulation, it felt like, so you can't make much of a judgment there. So, look, these players will get an opportunity. I think they'll remain on the list, and we'll find out in 2025 whether they belong or not. And that's the list in a nutshell, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Have I missed anything? I feel like we're coming to the point where we've got our ducks in a row from list management side and ready to attack 2025. Winning 4 of our last 5 games. Should have beaten Sydney, so it could have been 5 from 5. We beat the Premiers twice in the same season at the Gabba, at the G. So I think there's a lot of optimism to take into 2025. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and we'll see you guys throughout the course of the week. The content does not stop. We'll find ways to talk about something. I'm typically pretty good at clinching onto things and rolling with it and stretching it out as much as possible, like I am with this video. So yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you, and look forward to seeing you guys throughout the week. Go Pies.